Hello, my name is Johan Falk. I work at NodeOne Scandinavia. This is episode 30, oh my god, of the Learn Rules Framework screencast series. We have been doing exercises now for this is the fourth screencast, so I'm going to continue on that. And this is a variant, more complex variant of the previous exercise, where we created backlinks. We're going to do the same thing now, but we are doing that with multiple value fields. This is a sandbox site. Well, I haven't told you yet, but this is part of Learn Drupal library at NodeOne.se, and we also have a book that you might want to check out. If you read Swedish, by the way, these two books are basically the same. Right, so here's a back reference content type, and you can see here that the see also field here, that is an entity reference, is multiple value. So you can add any number of references here. And the point is that we want to create back references from each of these pieces of content when we save. To do that, I will first create a component, a rule component. This is necessary to do. It wasn't really necessary in the previous screencast for the previous exercise. But now we do have to, we need this because we're going to have to add conditions inside a loop. And I'll show you in a second what I mean. I'm going to create a rule here, a rule component, because we need both conditions and actions. I'm going to call this again add backlink if appropriate. I am again going to take a node as a parameter. I'll call it node and save. And just as in the previous one, previous screencast exercise, I'm going to check that the entity we're editing or working with has this field. So the node should have the field entity reference. And that's what I'm calling C also. And I'm also going to check that the no. Okay. Actually, I'm going to need two parameters here, because I'm going to send in the content I want to link from, the content I'm linking to from the node being saved. So I'm going to call this not node perhaps, but I'm going, well, let's call it node, and let's call this node to link to. Node to link to. Save changes. And I'm checking that the node that we want to update, let's actually call it that, node to update and node to link to. I'm checking that the node to update has this field, and I guess that is enough. If it does, then I'm going to add an item to a list, because we're working with a multiple value field now, and this means it is a list. So the node field entity reference should have a new value in it. Continue, and that value should be the node to link to. But I'm going to enforce uniqueness. So if it was already in the list, if it was already backlinking, then I'm not going to do this. Append to the end seems nice. Alright, so this rule component I can call with two nodes. One of them tells which node I want to update, and the other one tells which node I want to link to, and then it does this, adds the original node here to the node I want to update, if it wasn't already present. Then I'm going to need a reaction rule, one or two, depending on how I do this. Let's do one. Actions to update back, well, to create and update back links. after saving new content. I'm going to need two events, just as with the previous screencast. After saving new content and also after updating existing content. T. Right, and let's make sure that this content we're working with has this field. We could check content is of type or entity has field. I'm going to do entity has field. And I'm going to check the node, the created content, which is also the updated content. And I'm going to check if it has this entity reference field. If so, I would like to go through all the referenced content and update them to link them back to this node. Which means I want to add a loop here. Loop over the entity reference field. Let's call them linked items. Linked items linked. For some reason, machine names feel better to write backwards. Add an action inside this loop. And now I realized I used the plural form of the word when I should use the singular form. Who cares? Then I'm gonna call this component node to update. The node that I want to update is not the node which is the saved content, but the item linked here, which I accidentally gave a plural form here. The node to link to, on the other hand, is the node I'm updating. Save. So this means when I saved or updated the content that has this entity reference field, I'm going to go through all the references, bam, 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 and for each one I'm going to update the link content and make sure it links back to the node I'm updating right now. Yeah, let's make sure that this works. We have this one right now. Let's create a new piece of content. Call it Hello World or something. Hello World. Abbas. Yeah. Let's do that with another piece of content as well. This one, for example. Some dummy text and save. Alright. It now links to these two. Let's make sure that this Abbas thing links to Hello World here at the end. Yes, it does. And this teacher said should do that as well. Yeah. Cool. If I edit and save Hello World here, I should not get another link here. No. Here's an interesting experiment. This solution might make it impossible to delete. See also links. So if I delete it here, it might actually be returned. No, it wasn't. But it will still be here because I haven't, well, the backlink is still present because I haven't added any way to remove backlinks. That can be done. To do that in any kind of efficient way, you will need a new action or a new way to work with lists in rules. You could theoretically go through, well, where am I? Here's the reaction rule. You could go through, look through all the old references, delete the reference to the current content, the updated content, and then loop through the new ones, the new links, and add them again. That would mean you have two node saves for each referenced node, which is kind of silly. A much better solution is to check which ones have changed and only update those. But that would require a new action to work with lists. You would need something like create a difference between a diff between two lists, comparing the old reference list with a new reference list. That would be an interesting project for the rules bonus pack, and you are most welcome to well, make a feature request for that, or even write a patch that does that. It would be very nice, but I'm not going to make it a part of this screencast because you probably gotten the idea already of how to use rules. Cool. See you in the next screencast. Bye.